As an Asian girl being brought up in the UK, you were never allowed to have a boyfriend. So there comes an age when you're like 24, 25, and everyone's like, why are you not married?
If you're looking to get married, ideally would want to be Indian to start off with, and then probably Gujarati, and then if it works out, then it's Patel.
Did your parents ever say that to
No,
you?
it was my
Just your understanding?
Just my understanding of it.
For all Asian families, I think, regardless of your religion, getting married is like a massive social family responsibility that you have to kind of fulfill.
I think it was just a bit of a shock for my parents. They didn't expect me to get married to an English guy. It was very, it was quite a stressful time.
I got married when I was 21 years old. It was a traditional Hindu wedding. I had 1,400 people at my wedding.
In Hinduism, it's arranged marriages. People just check the families and everything is fine. So within 40 days, we got engaged and we got married.
There's a common saying that the divine was lonely, and so he split himself in half. The purpose of life is almost to find that other half, the other half of your soul.
We definitely did ask our family's opinions and what they wanted, but I think we always had the final say in what we want. And I think that was quite different to previous generations.
Navi and Karan met in May 2017.
Navi doesn't follow religion just because you have to follow religion. She has this thing of questioning, but I'm different in that way. I just follow religion because my parents told me this is how it's done. Navi can be a really modern Hindu. My parents are really traditional Hindus. I'm kind of in the middle.
In our culture, the whole arranged marriage is still an idea that's still there. I mean, lots of people marry for love now, so we call them love marriages. But with the arranged marriage, traditionally, we have our horoscopes, and they're usually like matched for compatibility, and usually a percentage comes out of it. Thankfully, we had a love marriage. We didn't actually have to have our horoscopes matched because we already had compatibility. Although some family members did want to do that, we kind of was like, no, because there's a lot of people that don't get married purely on the basis that their horoscopes don't match.
In 2019, they decided to marry with a traditional Sri Lankan Tamil ceremony.
With the Hindu wedding ceremony, it's the only time in life that you are elevated to God status. So even the priest sits on the floor, you sit on a platform. So when the priest ties a string on your hand, that kind of symbolises that you've been elevated to a God status. We have a Ganesha Puja first. With all beginnings, we pray to Lord Ganesha, Lord that starts things off.
Traditionally, the bride and groom don't see each other in the days leading up to the wedding.
The first time I'm going to see her, she's going to be like
walking onto the
stage with all the bridal stuff.
I think with the Hindu ceremony, there's like two key elements. The first one, in Tamil, it's called KANYADANAM, but it's a universally Hindu thing that all Hindu weddings do. It essentially means the giving away of the daughter. So the dad will hold your hand and basically say, all these years I've looked after you so well. My dad's not here. My uncle did that role for me, which was really nice. And now he takes the hand of the groom and say, now it's your time to look after my precious daughter. Do you agree to look after her? And then the groom responds saying yes. Yes. Essentially, it's quite similar to English weddings where a dad gives the daughter away, walking down the aisle to give your daughter to the husband. When I come into the ceremony, I wear a sari that's given by my family. And then you give me a sari to wear. And I go back and change and come back in that sari. So red is kind of seen as a very auspicious colour, and it's a colour that most brides choose. The second sari is usually a red one. For me, the most significant moment is when the tali is basically a gold blessed pendant, and it kind of represents your husband's life. The husband puts it on you, and I remember that moment really vividly. Everyone's got their flowers, and flowers is like confetti ready to throw it at you as well. And they're just waiting for Karan to come forward and put it over my neck. Everyone's so happy because I think it was like a bad omen or bad sign if people take too long tying the tali. So there was this element of you need to do it fast, otherwise it's not going to be good. Having that necklace tied around me in that moment where everyone's cheering for you, I thought, oh wow, I'm your wife. Hinduism is a very strong part of my identity. It's something I hold on to very dearly. And it wasn't until the wedding I realised that, oh wow, this is so powerful. I've realised there's the history behind it. It's so rich in its culture. It's very, very much down to you to interpret it in your own way. And I think that's why I love being a Hindu.